What Evalyn Parry has done in this piece that she's going to present to you this evening, this 20-minute spoken word and sort of sung piece, sums up everything that Summerfolk means. It sums up everything that a folk festival means. It sums up everything that folk music means, and it sums up everything that this country should mean at this time in this country's history.
But no pressure.
And I am very pleased to present and would like you to please give your undivided attention for the next 20 minutes to the remarkable Evalyn Parry.
It is a real pleasure to be here with you all. Have you had a good weekend?
Oh yeah.
Happy 40th birthday, Summerfolk. I grew up coming to this festival because my dad played in a band called the Friends of Fiddler's Green. And so I have many memories of this stage and of this land and of the remarkable musical experience that happens for one weekend every summer here in Owen Sound. And I remember watching Stan Rogers on this stage as a kid. And the song that I'm going to play for you tonight contains a piece of a Stan song that you'll most likely be familiar with called Northwest Passage. And it also contains a song that I learned from my dad, a traditional song called Lady Franklin's Lament. And Lady Franklin, of course, is the widow of the notorious Arctic explorer Sir John Franklin, who's been enjoying a bit of a recent resurgence in the news due to our Prime Minister's excitement about Arctic sovereignty and the discovery of one of Franklin's long-lost ships last summer up in Nunavut.
Anyone but Harper.
So tonight I have just released a CD, and in fact the CD now comes in a little package with a film as well that I've made with visual artist Elysha Poirier, who's here tonight, will be doing the live visuals that you'll see. And some of the visuals, perhaps some of you will recognize, because some of them are from this very stage many years ago. I think that's all that I will say, except that I want to send it out tonight to all the ancestors. Oh, for just one time I would take the Northwest Passage to find the hand of Franklin, reaching for the Beaufort Sea, tracing one warm line through a land so wide and savage, to make a Northwest Passage to the sea. There is a remarkable nerve that travels through the human body called the vagus nerve, also known as the rambler or the wanderer. Vagus is the longest nerve in the central nervous system. It wanders from brainstem to colon, along the way innervating and connecting the outer ear, the throat, the lungs, portions of the viscera, and on its journey back to the voice box, it circles the heart. You can trace the lines on a map of a country, chart your way to the heart of a country, explore, stake a claim, go down in history, write your name on a spot on the map, claim you found it, but does that make it yours? What does discover mean? To be pointed in the right direction by someone who knows the frozen land like the back of their weathered hand. Someone about whom no song will be mentioned, no song will be written. Look closer, consider the lines, the roads and waterways spreading in a vast network, a fine mesh, filigree, reaching every extremity, a sentient living system where nothing is alone, everything is connected, everything is felt. If not at the point of original contact, then still somewhere. Oh, for just one time, I would take the Northwest Passage to find the hand of Franklin, reaching for the Beaufort Sea, tracing one warm line through a land so wide and savage, to make a Northwest Passage to the sea. To chart a path through what is uncharted, to attempt to sail through what is frozen, to set out from home in 1845 on two 350-ton boats bound for the Canadian Arctic, equipped with 129 sailors, a 3-year supply of food, bone china, proper teapots, silver cutlery, to never be heard from again, frozen water, frozen men, waiting for the thaw, then starting again, to try to make passage quickly before running water turns solid, to freeze and thaw, thaw and freeze, to slowly starve, to eat your leather boots rather than to ask for help from the people who know how to weather this winter, to be poisoned by the lead solder of your own tin cans, to die of starvation, lead poisoning, tuberculosis, scurvy, pneumonia, hypothermia, to be devoured by wolves, to be devoured by ambition, to be devoured by men, driven to the known ends of the known earth, or the unknown ends of the unknown earth, to live with ice, to try surviving, to die trying. Oh, for just one time, I would take the Northwest Passage. I would find the hand of Franklin, reaching for the Beaufort Sea, tracing what line through the land savage, to pick the Northwest Passage to sea. I was raised in a tradition, squeeze boxes in the kitchen, heads thrown back, call and response, feet stomping, gut strings thrumming, believing in the songs I was raised with, songs sung from festival stages, around bonfires, standing in circles, standing in lines. You can circumnavigate the globe in song, but you know you are home when you know all the words. A song is a heartbeat, involuntary. Tradition is a hand-me-down. It is the way things are done without question. It is what you are given to pass on. It is what will live on after you are gone. My father loved a good old-fashioned folk song, a good sad song or a lusty sing-along, shanties, sailors, songs of drinking, carousing, good times and adventure, old songs handed down across generations, those frozen ghosts who dreamed of discovery, trying to find that great white north. Or new songs that sound like old songs, that tell of the old ways, going, gone. My father was a family man, but often absent. the sound of his guitar and singing familiar but private, a solitary practice that shouldn't be interrupted, the soul of an artist, always yearning for something more, wanderlust, the wandering nerve, Vegas, the nerve of those men, their courage and audacity, trying to find that elusive, almost mythical passageway by water, object of so many frozen, failed expeditions, planting their names like flags, like hope, a trail of breadcrumbs over the frozen crust of the north, determined they would not be turned back but find a way through, willing to trade their lives and the lives of others for a dream. Wife of the explorer, commissions a new expedition to find the lost expedition. Stratum of searching, the race to find the passage, an ensuing race to collect the reward for finding the lost explorers who are trying to find the passage. Inuit report. Seeing British sailors roaming the tundra, stark mad, committing the ultimate, unspeakable act of survival. Horrified, Lady Franklin commissions the popular Charles Dickens to rewrite the story for the dailies. Thus, Inuit, not sailors, will go down in history for their cannibal activities. Through cruel hardships they vainly strove. Their ships on mountains of ice were drove. Only the Eskimo with his skin canoe was the only one who ever came through. Oh, for just one time I would take the Northwest Passage to find the hand of Franklin, reaching for the Beaufort Sea, tracing one warm line through a land so wide and savage. I have my reservations about speaking this word, singing this word. Reservations were made thinking they would be an adequate solution. Called them reserves, implying sanctity, something held precious, worthy of preservation. Now instead it's all about reparation, compensation, truth and reconciliation. Tax breaks, identity cards, apologies issued. But words are not enough. Money is not enough. The damage is too deep. It goes back too many generations. Colonial passage was wide and savage. I read about suicides again in the paper. Substance abuse, substantial abuses. I think about all that was taken away from this wide and savage land and its original residents. Consider the word reserve. Picture the reserved, stiff upper lips of those colonial fathers who turned desire and longing into empire, dominion. Consider how our mothers taught us always to return a thing better than the way we found it. How instead we have built fences around land when fences are futile. How the leg bone's connected to the ankle bone, land bone to water bone. How water circulates, pollution circulates, dis-ease circulates. Not reserved only for those who created it. Those who made the bed are not the only ones who lie in it. Oh, for just one time, I would take the Northwest Passage. To find the hand of Franklin, reaching for common knowledge now that the Northwest Passage is no longer in hiding. That long-imagined international trade route is becoming passable for more months of the year, opening up new possibilities for global circumnavigation. When water never thaws, you can build a home on it. But what happens when the temperature rises and the land you live on starts dissolving, turns to water? Can you still call it yours? Can you still call it Canada? What else can be discovered? What song does the melting ice sing? Listen. Listen. The pitch is rising. The song of the ice urgent, ancient, tenacious as memory, full of fossils, fuel. The Innu elders, throat singing, passing the winter in song, passing a song from one mouth to another. In Baffin's Bay, where the whalefish blow, the fate of Franklin no man may know. The fate of Franklin no tongue can tell. Lord Franklin alone with his sailors do dwell. You can live with ice, frozen in a winter that never ends. Tough it out or ask for help. Eat whale blubber or lead soldered tin cans. You can bring out your fine china. Listen to the keening of icebergs, cracking like teacups. Hold yourself responsible. Watch the ice separate, melt. Discover the sensation of melting in the chest, warmth, softening, make an opening, amend. Call Canada our home on native land. Draw a new map. You can make amends and still make a mess of it. See the consequences. Human beings hanging from the ceilings of their despair. You can turn to face the future, the songs of your ancestors running in your veins like debt. Seek your own Northwest Passage. Find that frozen place that might thaw and allow you through. Allow connection, safe passage between the continent of yourself and the continent of another. And now my burden, it gives me pain. For my long-lost Franklin, I would cross the main. 10,000 pounds would I freely give to know on earth that my Franklin do live. To break the ice, to be an icebreaker. To search for that place in which we are all connected, not separate. In which what happens to one happens to all. Traverse that archipelagic waterway. Imagine the night a new song was born. Stan Rogers, driving through the dark in his folk singer's four-wheeled vessel. I remember the sound of my father singing in the front seat to keep himself awake, my brother and I in the back seat. Oncoming headlights flickering over us like waves, adrift on an ocean of ghosts, song after song. I am singing them now. These old songs, these sharp tools, handed down to me without instructions. Oh, for just one time, I would take the Northwest Passage, trace a line, find the end of a river, the nerve that wanders, that wraps around the parts of us that sing.